And we're so grateful that you have chosen to come spend a few minutes with us this morning. And of course, even more so, the very important reason that we have gathered today. We're so thrilled that so many of you who are not officially part of Roane State, although you're all part of the Roane State family if you're here, but we're so thrilled that so many of you have come to join us today as we honor so many of you who have done so much for this country through your service. My name is Chris Whaley. I'm honored to serve as the president here at Roane State Community College. Let me first of all, there are several things. Let me first of all say thank you to the Roane State Instrumental Ensemble for their beautiful prelude music under the direction of Dr. Joe Greenlee, who serves as professor of music as well as our Dean of Humanities. Did you enjoy the music so far this morning? And the good news is there is more of it to come. In fact, now I would ask you just to pause in your eating just a moment and please rise for the national anthem that will be performed by Roane State music student Haley Heap. You may be seated. Haley, thank you so much. That was absolutely beautiful. As you entered the Student Center, I hope that each one of you were given a needlepoint flag lapel pin, and if not, we will make sure and remedy that before you leave today. Back at the back table back there, and I want to thank the wonderful folks at Roane State who were manning that table and giving those out. These flag lapel pins were made by Monica Stanley and her mother, Regina Stanley, for a Veterans Day celebration. Monica's father served for 12 years in the United States Army and is also a veteran of the Vietnam War. And her brother Michael retired after 26 years in the Air Force and is a veteran of Desert Storm. Are either Monica, Regina, or any of their family not here today? Even though they're not, could we give them a round of applause? Because that's really amazing. They're always on the ways, look out for the ways to support our military, and the flag lapel pin is one way of showing their support, and they hope you enjoy the pins and that as you wear them, that you remember our veterans and the men, all the men and women in the military when you look at those. I'd also like to acknowledge the Roane State Hall of Heroes. On your tables, you will find pictures of various veterans from the families of Roane State employees, and you may have seen the display by Girl Scout Troop 22046 showing their thanks to veterans as well, and it's with gratitude that we display all of these images here today to honor all of those individuals. There are also many folks who make a day like today possible, and I fear that we will not be able to mention every single name, but there are some that we need to specifically mention. When you drive by the exterior, drive by Half Lane here, you look over and you see those flags. It's just breathtaking. Those don't put themselves up. It is thanks to a lot of hard work from David Webb, our physical plant director, and his team who placed those flags on the lawn. So David, to you and to your team, thank you, sir. We appreciate you. She omitted herself from this in the hopes that I would not mention her, but not going to happen. We have a really incredible Veterans Affairs Department led by Lindsay Patrick. And Lindsay is the one who is in charge of today, and she is the one whom we're going to join now together and thank. I think she's back in the back. Lindsay, stand up for just a moment, please. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I just mention that if you have a veteran at home, if you know of a veteran who is thinking about coming to school and the whole thing seems a little bit confusing or maybe even scary, I promise you an appointment with Lindsay will clear through all of that, and we would love to encourage your veteran to be a part of Roane State here as a student. So please connect with her at any point that you may have questions about that. So why Veterans Wave? Well, a few years ago, an idea floated around about setting aside some time to honor our veterans. We've always had Veterans Day programs, but those sometimes were scaled up and they were big, and sometimes they were smaller. They were all great. But we wanted a consistent way, not only to honor our Roane State student and staff veterans, but all of our veterans in the community. So through that, Veteran Wave was born, and today marks the fourth of many celebrations to come as we honor the sacrifices that, again, so many of you have made for our country in the name of freedom and democracy, which is, of course, the very foundation of Veterans Day. Now, she doesn't want recognition either. Right now, she's thinking, oh no, he's not going to. But this idea came about because one person at Roane State sort of willed it into existence, and I want her to stand. Dr. Diane Ward, this is all because she thought of this, and I appreciate her very much. For that later, we have meetings this afternoon. But our veterans, certainly you have served this country with the belief that democracy and freedom are ideals to be upheld at home as well as abroad. And sometimes, unfortunately, we take for granted the very things that deserve our gratitude the most. But that is not the case today. Today, we honor those who understand and live out the words duty, honor, and country. And today we remember those who answered the call to serve this country and protect our freedoms. And today we honor those in uniform currently serving in our military, both here and abroad, so that tonight we can sleep peacefully in our beds. Which begs the question, what is a veteran? Well, a veteran can be defined in several different ways. The definition that we're going with is that a veteran, whether active duty, discharged, retired, or reserved, is someone who at one point in his or her life wrote a blank check made payable to the United States of America for an amount up to and including potentially his or her life. So let's think about the enormity of that for a moment. So now we want to not embarrass you, but we want to recognize you, and I realize fully that we will not have representatives for each of these conflicts in the room, but we still want to take time and honor them. So we're going to go through and I'm going to name some of the different conflicts, and we're going to ask veterans of those conflicts to stand and remain standing until I get through the end of the list, and I'll be quick, I promise. So if you are a veteran of World War II, would you please stand at this time? If you are a veteran of the Korean War, would you please stand at this time? If you are a veteran of the Vietnam War, would you please stand at this time? If you are a veteran of Desert Storm, would you please stand? Sorry. Very appropriate timing. Couldn't have done that better if I had. You get an extra muffin for that. If you are a veteran of the War on Terror, would you please stand? And finally, if you are a veteran of any branch of the service of the United States of America, would all of our veterans at this time please stand? Let's recognize these men and women. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You may be seated. We are here today again enjoying our freedom because of individuals just like you. In 2020, the Chancellor of the Tennessee Board of Regents, Chancellor Flora Tidings, established a system-level award to honor the service, the bravery, the sacrifices of military veterans in the campus communities. The college president gets the opportunity to nominate the recipient from either currently enrolled students, it could be a faculty member, staff, or alumni. And we have recognized folks, I think, throughout that spectrum in the past. And so as a part of our Veterans Day observances, a special challenge coin is presented on behalf of the Chancellor, with her gratitude, certainly, and with ours. And the challenge coin presents a rich tradition in all branches of the military, and it signifies special achievement, excellence, hard work, unit pride, respect, and esprit de corps. So I'm pleased to announce that the 2024 recipient of the challenge coin is Joshua Aiden Havener. Aiden, would you please step forward? Come on up, sir. As he's coming up, I want to let you know a few things about Aiden. He was born in Florida, and growing up, he played a variety of sports: football, soccer, ran track, and after graduation, he was a little unsure of what path to pursue, and then he joined the United States Navy, where he served 4 years as Master of Arms. He served as a Level 2 Harbor Security Boat Coxswain and a Level 3 restricted area, ensuring the security of our nation's nuclear strategic assets, which is very appropriate for us to talk about that here in East Tennessee. He provided vessel search and seizure, maritime security, U.S. Customs, joint operations, and terrorist threat analysis. He also assisted in the implementation of defensive measures on military installations worldwide. He also held law enforcement duties such as patrolling ingress and egress control, and he also demonstrated leadership capabilities by leading sea and land tactics training for incoming naval personnel. Now, during his time in the Navy, Aiden obtained many awards. These include his expert rifle, expert pistol, expert coxswain, his nuclear weapons security specialist, NWS. He is also a recipient of the Navy Good Conduct Medal, the National Defense Service Medal, and the Global War on Terrorism Service Medal. In 2021, after his time in the service, Aiden was honorably discharged, where he and his wife Destiny laid down roots in East Tennessee, and we are very, very thankful for that. After some time working at Y-12 as well as Jerry Duncan Ford, he decided to further his education here at Roane State, something else we're very, very grateful for, and he will graduate this coming May. Now, during his time here at Roane State, his service has continued, as he's been an integral part of our peer mentor program, as well as the veteran peer mentor. He has also helped veteran services by providing essential feedback regarding departmental plans that will affect future veteran students. In his spare time, if you can imagine that there is any, he enjoys spending time, of course, with his wife and their 3 cats, and he will continue his education at Tennessee Tech in their wildlife and fisheries program with a concentration in fisheries conservation. So on behalf of Chancellor Flora Tidings, you have been recognized as the 2024 recipient of the Tennessee Board of Regents Chancellor's Commendation for Military Veterans representing Roane State Community College. Aiden, please come forward.
Can you hear me? I feel like I can't hear you. So yeah, my name is Aiden. I'm originally from Florida, and I moved up here 3 years ago next month. I just want to say thank you for everyone that's out here. Thank you to Dr. Whaley for the introduction, and thank you for Lindsay for putting this on. And especially thank you to all of you, my brothers and sisters. It means a lot. So, for me, there's an automatic respect and a gratitude for anybody that, raises their hand, signs their name on the dotted line. It just means a lot to me. So thanks for coming out. A little emotional, Had a lot of friends pass away and can't be here, so it means a lot. I'm sure we've all learned a few things, as our time in the military. Folding clothes, hospital corners, all that type of thing. But a lot of things go deeper than that. One thing I can say that I've, put in my own life and made me learn new things is how to accept new ideas, new people, new cultures, new experiences. The little town I grew up in is not much bigger than Harriman, very small. I didn't get exposed to a lot of things, and I knew that when I joined the military that I would be exposed to a lot of things, and I wanted to not take those things for granted and take it as a game. First time I was on a plane, I was headed up to Chicago for boot camp. That was an experience, and when I got there, it was snowing. I'm a Florida boy, and that's not a thing that happens in Florida. I experienced 3 or 4 feet of snow almost every day, which was something I don't want to ever do again. They made us get up at 3 a.m. to shovel. I did that. But it taught me a lot of things, I'm just so thankful that I got to experience other cultures. One of my good friends, he got his green card. He was from India, and he got his green card through the military. And I've never met an Indian person before, and his culture, his food was just awesome. And I would have never got that experience if I didn't get out of my hometown and join the military. That's a small thing to take away from the military. I know there's so many things that we could all stand up and say something that we've learned. But the acceptance of new ideas, I think, is something that we need to further as our young people coming up. I think taking in new experiences and learning new things is a way for us to progress as a whole, as a community, as a nation, expressing that sense of self. So that's one thing that the military has done for me. And I'm just so thankful, and I'm so proud to be a veteran. I'm proud to have served, proud to be part of the 1%, as a lot of us are. So I was in the Navy. Is there any Navy people out there, any sailors? You got one. I seen we got some Army and some Air Force. I have a lot of friends in all the branches. Any Devil Dogs? No Marines? I'm here for you. And I just want to thank all of you so much from the bottom of my heart. It means a lot. And thank you for this award. That also means a lot. It's going to go up on my wall in my office. So I'm just thankful, and I'm proud. And yeah, that's really all I got for you. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Aiden. Now, before we close, this has become a tradition here during part of our ceremony. Our Roane State Instrumental Ensemble is going to play each military branch fight song. And when your branch's song is played, we would ask you to please stand again, so one more time we can honor each one of you. So be listening, and we'll get started. Dr. Greenland? United States Army. please, for the Roane State Instrumental Ensemble. As we wrap up, folks, again, thank you so much for being here. Even though, of course, we've met inside, you are welcome to go outside and walk amongst the flags. The ground is wet, so please be careful. Marsha Matthews does not want anybody falling out there, right, Marsha? So please feel free to do that, but please be careful. And thank you again for joining us. More than that, thank you for your service. Thank you for what your service means to each one of us. Have a great day and happy Veterans Day. Take care.